So if you could just tell us who you're cosplaying as this weekend.
I'm cosplaying Thranduil from The Hobbit.
It's just a custom Reach Spartan.
I'm cosplaying as a sergeant of the Raven Guard from Warhammer 40,000.
Effie Trinket from the Hunger Games.
And so, did you make the costume yourself?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I did, painstakingly.
Yes. Yes.
And how long did it take to make the costume?
About 3 weeks. Approximately, yeah.
The base itself took about 2 months to make, and then the paint was about a few days.
It took me a year to make it to where it's wearable, and it's been another year since then. I've been refining it and adding bits and replacing parts, and then adding weathering. So about 2 years overall for this one. But it's not the only one I've got. I've got several others that are in various states of repair and assembly. Some of them are this size, and the other one of them is 7'2" to the top of the helmet. So that's the next one to get completed, I think.
About 3 weeks to do all the butterflies and make the dress underneath.
Which bit took longest to make?
And honestly, getting it to fit part. Making the armour itself was no problem for me, but making it wearable was the tough part, because I had to completely think up how to attach straps, pads, supports, and then how to attach them to it and spacing it so it doesn't knock into itself, like getting the backpack at the right spacing and the right height, and also scaling and replacing parts like this collar on the armour is completely oversized because the model for the game is meant to be well, the character is 8 feet tall with a normal sized head. So if I just made it true to that, my head wouldn't fit through. So there was a lot of proportions and stuff to fiddle with. But once that's all done, yeah, it's mainly padding and such, which still isn't perfect because I've had a few issues. But, you know, it gives character.
The butterflies. There's like 175 in total.
The helmet, by far, because all this, like, you can just curve foam, but when you have to get the details into a peppercorn, it's so hard. You have to do body filler, you have to completely sand it, and then body filler again. It's just rinse, repeat.
The crown. It was the second attempt.
What's it made from?
It's made of Fimo and wire, basically. And a lot of paint.
A lot of paint and patience, yeah.
The base is made from EVA foam, using peppercorn as templates, and then freehanding some parts where it doesn't really fit. The helmet is fiberglass with motorcycle visor and just body filler on the top.
This part is foam, just normal floor mat foam. The weapons are made from plastizote foam, but the rest of it is epoxy and polyurethane resin. It's all aerospace composites. So this suit is actually paintball proof. So it's functional armour. Most of the time it's made from foam if you look at a lot of the costumes, because it's a lot easier, it's a lot lighter, and it's easy to live with. But I've made things hard for myself. But But you make things hard for yourself in making it and wearing it, but you're also paintball proof, so you can go paintballing in it and be a walking tank. So it's worth it. I'm all about the real functional protection.
And have you actually gone paintballing in it?
No, but I have tested it. Before I painted it, I shot it with a paintball gun, and it didn't damage it. So.
And so, how long have you been cosplaying?
Technically, the first time I cosplayed was like a year and a half ago. But I've been out in costume before then. But that was the first time I came to an event specifically, and that was just with this helmet. And I hadn't finished the armour, so I just wore the helmet and a business suit. Black tie. Very formal.
Formal Raven Guard wear?
Yes, formal Raven Guard.
This is actually the second time I've cosplayed. The first time I came a few years ago as Tifa Lockhart.
I've been cosplaying for 9 years now.
This is my first one.
Good way to start.
Yeah.
Go with one of the hardest costumes. What got you interested in the first place?
Over the summer, like, I have 5 months summer in between uni and then starting uni again. So I was looking around, and then people were making Halo armor, so I thought, oh, I'll get into that, and got this done. Yeah.
I suppose I've always been interested before, but it wasn't until I had facilities and funds available to make this, because this is my first cosplay, really. Other than the helmet, obviously, but this is the first actual costume I've made and taken somewhere. So, being a Space Marine, I've loved Space Marines since 1994. So, since I was very small, and I've always wanted to be one, and this is as close as I can really get.
You're
so,
as close as you can.
except for the other guy, there's another guy around here with one on stilts. He's a bit taller, closer, but it's good enough for me.
Oh, I don't actually know. Probably just seeing everyone else do it and then thinking, oh, that looks fun.
I went to a convention and saw other cosplayers, and that was my thing right away.
It all spiraled out from there. And so, do you have any plans for future costumes?
Yes, I want to cosplay Thranduil again, but in the battle armor of the last movie.
Not at the moment, no. I've just started a job now, so I haven't got much time to do things, unfortunately.
Yes, something very, very big. To anyone that knows the 40k lore, it's cataphracted pattern Terminator armor. Anyone who recognises that will know what a challenge it's going to be and how impressive it will be if I manage to pull it off. But surprisingly, when I was looking over it, it's going to be easier to get proportions right, because the arms, you can fudge things and hide stuff, because there's dangling flaps and bits and pieces that overlap. So it'll look impossible, but it'll be fine. And you get an excuse to be really slow and clunky, because it is. But you won't be able to fit through any doors at all. I'd have to get someone to wheel me in on a pallet truck. Or just get into it inside. I don't think I'll be going inside with it, because it's hard to check wristbands quickly in this. So.
And finally, money no object, what would be the dream costume?
You won't know it. It's Ben 10 from Zone 00, a manga, and he has 6 wings, and that's why it's getting down on the list all the time. But someday.
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 Great, thank you.
The dream costume would be like Lulu from Final Fantasy X, but it would have to be a really hot day to do that.
Dream costume? Probably a Hulkbuster, if I'm being honest. That seems one of the better ones to go for.